Hello children. Today we are going to learn how to write the lowercase letters in the New South Wales Foundation print. I'll be using the terms daddy letters or tall letters, baby letters and tail letters often, which makes it easier for children to remember how to write them on the lines. So let's begin. Now the first letter in the English alphabet system is letter A. So letter A is a baby letter. You write baby letters in between the two blue lines that you see here. So you make a standing line and then you make a little curve, and that's how you would write your letter A. Letter B. Letter B is a tall letter or a daddy letter. The daddy letter starts from the red line on the top. It goes up till the blue line, a standing line, and then you make a little curve. That's your letter B. Letter C is a baby letter, so the letter C falls into the two blue lines. So a curve, letter C. Letter D is a tall letter again. The tall letter D starts from the red line up to the blue line and the curve in between the two blue lines. Letter E, again a curve in between the two blue lines and then you close the curve. That's your letter E. Letter F, a tall letter or a daddy letter, starts from the red line up to the blue line and then you make your little sleeping line on the second blue line or the first blue line, sorry. Letter G is a tail letter. The curve of letter G lies in between the two blue lines and the tail goes down with a little curve touching the lower red line. Your letter H is a daddy letter, so starts from the red line up to the blue line and the bump or the curve stays in between the two blue lines. Letter I is a baby letter, so a small short standing line and a little dot which lies in between the two blue lines. Letter J is a tail letter, so the tail of letter J goes down up till the red line with a little curve and then there's a dot on top. Letter K is a daddy letter, so standing line from the red line up to the blue line and then the curve inside and a little cross line in between the two blue lines. Letter L, again a daddy letter, so a standing line. That's how you write letter L in the New South Wales Foundation print. Letter M is a baby letter in between the two blue lines. Letter N is again a baby letter in between the two blue lines. Sometimes when I'm teaching the children, children get confused between the letter N and letter H. So it's essential for teachers to point out letter H has a standing line which starts from the red line up to the blue line, whereas this little standing line doesn't cross the blue line. It doesn't start from the red line up to the blue line, but it stays between the two blue lines. So that's the difference between letter H and letter N. Otherwise it looks similar. So that's a daddy letter and that's a baby letter. Alright, letter O is a baby letter, so it stays in between the two blue lines. Letter P is a tail letter. The tail goes down and the curved part of letter P stays in between the two blue lines. Letter Q again is a tail letter, so the curve stays in between the two blue lines and then the standing line goes down with a little curve. Letter R is again a baby letter, so a little standing line between the two blue lines and a little curve which stays inside the two blue lines. Letter S is again a baby letter, so it stays in between the two blue lines. Letter T is a standing line, that's a daddy letter, and a sleeping line up on the blue line, the topmost blue line. Letter U stays in between the two blue lines, so it's a curve, an inverted curve, and a little standing line. Letter V in between the two blue lines, that's a baby letter. Letter W, again a baby letter in between the two blue lines. Letter X is a baby letter in between the two blue lines. Letter Y, just like letter U, and then take the line up till the lower red line, so that's a tail letter. Letter Z is a baby letter, again it stays in between the two blue lines. So children, to be good writers, you have to practice your letter writing regularly. Happy writing!